and good morning. I am Michalis Moschovakos. I am a policy officer in the DG Research and Innovation in the unit that deals with societal transformations and cultural heritage. Among others, I deal with migration, and this is actually a topic with which I deal nearly all my professional life, as well as from a personal point of view. It's of my special interest. So I prepared this intervention, a couple of weeks ago when I started thinking what I wanted to say about this roundtable. I thought this was very key. It was a very nice opportunity to get to meet the projects, the research from the ground. I've also planned to say that I'm very happy to be in a physical event nearly after 2.5 years, actually, of only digital meetings through Teams and Skype. And unfortunately, obviously, this initial pleasure is now overshadowed by the events at the Ukrainian front. I think, we are watching history in the making. It's not about assessing what's being done there, but as regards our field, I think this roundtable is more topical and more relevant than ever before, meaning that, if I'm not mistaken, there's already 500,000 people fleeing their country, Ukraine, already. So, with these thoughts, I will present you the state of play of migration and research at the EU level. I mean, this was the topic of my speech. I have prepared some notes. I will, go back and forth, not trying to forget any important points. So I will begin with a reference to the previous programming period, the 2014-2020 programming period, during which Horizon 2020 took place. During this time, we funded 40 plus projects on migration, 41, 42, investing nearly 100 million euros, more or less, on state-of-the-art projects that are pushing conceptual boundaries and developing truly international research with partners and case studies from across Europe and across the world. We fund international research partnership with research on 34 countries, including in Africa, in Asia, the Middle East, and Latin America. Now, this was a massive investment, basically as a Commission's response to the 2015 migratory/refugee crisis, and the reason was, that on top of the people who arrive legally in Europe, just to give you a number, we had in 2019 3 million people who legally arrived in Europe. On top of these flows, we saw an increase in irregular migration in and around the EU, as well as increased flows of people seeking asylum, escaping from impossible situation. And so, in light of all this, the goal was that the new challenges that were unveiled needed to be better understood, and in order to better govern it. So this was the logic why mobilizing this enormous amount of funding research. We funded research on migration governance, on asylum and forced displacement, on migration and development nexus, climate change, integration, narratives and discourses, and modeling and forecasting. Now, this was until 2020. Of course, projects which were funded at this time are still ongoing today, as is the case with most projects here today. But as of 2021, we have a new program, the Horizon Europe, which I'm sure you're all aware. It's the successor of the Horizon 2020. So we continue to fund key research on migration and mobility in this program, which is a good thing. I mean, generally, migration is connected with the people's interest. Once the flows are high, the interest is high. When it goes, so does the public interest and the political priorities. So I think it's important to recognize that we continue investing, filling knowledge gaps, which are most pressing for policymakers across the EU. So that is why during the first 2 years of Horizon Europe, 21-22, we have allocated 30 million euro already to cover topics which revolve around irregular migration, understanding the conditions under which these people live, the numbers, how many of them are here, what are the decision-making processes of aspiring migrants. And we are also funding research and readmission policy. Now, most of these topics are currently open. There are open calls which opened last month, and there is a deadline for the 20th of April for anyone who might be interested, or in case you have stakeholders that are interested in applying in these kinds of topics. So these are gaps we're trying to fill in, which we have identified with our stakeholders, with the member state. But if I am to give an outlook for the future, I must say that at the same time we are working to prepare the next work program, the next couple of years of Horizon Europe 23-24. Our vision is to harness the knowledge which is produced under the Horizon 2020 project and translate it into tangible policy results. And I mean that by our estimations, these 40 plus projects that we have funded already, we estimate that there are around 1,000 researchers involved. So this is a huge number, 1,000 resource persons who constitute possibly the largest migration research community in the world. So we were wondering, what do you do with this kind of people? What do you do with the knowledge produced under these projects? You do that and then you finish. What kind of follow-up do you do? And we think it's kind of pity to let all this knowledge go to waste. So that is why we work to bring this community together, to truly bring this knowledge together and establish a continuation of our investment in a structural manner. So we want to put this knowledge in good use. We want to inform the EU migration policy for the future, namely the new pact on migration and asylum. And by drawing lessons from the past, we want to be ready for the future. A future which, as I said earlier, is highly unpredictable for the moment. And that is why I think this roundtable is really important that takes place today. So this is where we stand with regard to migration and research at the EU level. To sum up, we want to translate our investment of Horizon 2020 into policy results. We will do so by funding the creation of a research network, and we will continue to funding projects that fill strategic gaps. Well, with these thoughts, I think I will stop here, and I will thank you very much for listening to me. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Are there any quick questions? Are there any quick questions for Michalis here in the room? Yes, please. Wait a second. I will give you a microphone.
Hi, sorry. Thanks a lot for the introduction. I'm Sergei Shubin. I'm from Swansea University in the UK. Are you planning to provide any ad hoc funding for understanding how to better respond to the current crisis which unfolds in Ukraine?
I'm afraid that at this moment it is too early to reply to this question. I mean, the crisis outburst like 6 days ago, so I'm in no position to say that a decision to that regard has been made at this stage, you know.
Thank you. Any other very, very quick comment or question? Otherwise, we'll have the possibility to have Michalis with us a little bit longer. So if you come up with something, you can address to him a little bit later. Thank you so much, Michalis, for your intervention. And it's good to know that we are working towards the same goal as the European Commission intended. Thank you.